put the announcement in the UK that Sarah Jessica Parker is the new ambassador for Rock Skincare. So welcome to London.
Thank you.
How do you describe yourself now? I feel like you're a multi-hyphen at Sarah Jessica.
I'd probably describe myself first as a parent, a mother. I have 3 children, and I've discovered that they don't need you less as they get older, they need you more. So that is a dominant part of my life. It's a thrilling, challenging, joyful, panicked part of my life, but it's the thing that is obviously most important to me. I'm a married woman of many, many years. I've been with my husband for 30 years. And I'm a friend and a colleague and a serious professional. I love what I get to do. I love the people that I get to work with and for. I love that I am somebody who's had, I guess I am somebody who's had a lot of opportunities that have been unconventional, given that I spent a majority of my adult life as an actor. So I've been able to start businesses and be a business person, and that's a really important, extremely interesting, also challenging part of my life. So I guess I think of myself as a fortunate person with a lot of experiences that have made my life very rich and interesting and surprising and deeply fulfilling, and I feel hugely privileged to be in still the mix of it.
Now, we are here on behalf of Rock, so we have to
Happily.
talk beauty. Yes, very happy. As a journalist of over 32 years, I have huge respect for Rock as a brand. My beauty philosophy is minimum effort, maximum results. What is your beauty philosophy?
I was just sharing with Fernando that is in fact simplicity and efficacy. I have great admiration for women who want to do 9 steps in the morning and at night. That is something that I don't have the patience or concentration for, but I also don't understand why we are asking that of women. All of our time is valuable, and I think what is unique about Rock is that it is a science and fact-based skincare brand, so I don't have to do a huge amount of the work. I know what I'm buying at an affordable price, and they make it simple. They add product, it's available, it's a companion, it's a good companion, they've done the work, and I can just simply benefit from it. So I am simple. I will do 2 things at most. Every now and then I'll maybe add a 3rd element.
You know I'm going to ask you what those 2 things are.
I can tell you what they are. Well, there's a new dual eye cream that's really exciting and interesting because it also takes away all the questions that I have. You know, when do I use this and when? Like, how do they pair? How do they marry? How does it work? So it takes care of a lot. It's convenient. The packaging is great. It's simple. You understand what it is that you're putting on your face. But not to pick favorites, because I don't have favorites.
We put your favorites in front of you.
But I love these so much.
Yeah.
This fits in a purse. They use it on me when I'm working.
Yes.
When I'm working, and when we do touch-ups.
Yes.
You know this.
Yeah.
After lunch is it's the big touch-up of the day. This is a product that's so friendly and helpful to a makeup artist because it moves beautifully, it cleans up, it doesn't take everything away, but it helps get everything sort of back in order and behaving, you know? But it also has sunscreen, which I'm now finally using. I mean, I've been using it for a while now.
Just to let you know, that is the Hydrate and Plump Daily Moisturizer.
It's great, and can I just say one more thing about it?
This
Let's
is
click
super
open.
heavenly because if you toss it in your purse,
And you don't want to find out that your purse has more of this product on than you do. Very, very helpful. And this, I think, you know, I just keep telling my friends at Rock, talk about this more.
That's the Max Hydration.
I just think it's beautiful. It's for somebody, once again, who is not, I'm not a scientist and I'm not interested in as much of the research, doing it on my own. I have friends that are so good about it. They will spend hours poring over the interior pamphlets
That's
and,
me.
and everything else. But I'm just not a student that way.
You want a brand you can trust. Yeah.
Correct. It's just the perfect weight. It's the perfect amount of moisture. It mixes beautifully with a touch of water. You know, so if you don't want it as heavy, it's not heavy anyway, but it is a true traditional night experience. But it can be used on your hands, it can be used on a flight, it can be used, you know, before you go to work. For me, before I go to work, and I know I'm gonna sit in a hair chair first, it's kind of just like a nice little fella to come with me.
And is it true it was your first introduction to ROC as a
Yes.
skincare brand?
Love. I love this product, and it's been around a long time. I mean, they've revisited it, and Fernanda can talk more about the ways in which they've looked at it again, because I think this is a fairly, this is one of the elder statesmen
Right.
of the
There's
brand.
nothing wrong with an elder
No,
statesman.
an upperclassman. But yeah, these are the ones that I would say are just consistent for me always.
You seem to always have good skin. Do you have any skin concerns?
Yeah, I can't take fragrances. I can't experiment a lot. I have sensitive skin. It's not sensitive like some people I know.
Reactive, yeah.
But I can't use a lot of things that have, you know, vitamins. Like, I have to be thoughtful about that stuff. But I don't treat it, I'm not precious about it. You know, it is what it is. I inherited what I inherited. What can I do to sort of help it, maintain it without expending hours and huge amounts of dollars?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because as a beauty editor of, like I said, 32 years, I've grown up with ROC. So for me, they were the first company that ever spoke to us about encapsulated retinol science. Their brand I trust to deliver the science that I need at an affordable, effective price. So that's
Yeah.
great. Is that part of the reason? You're in huge demand now. You're having this huge sort of second wave of success on everywhere, and just you're coming to the UK and you're going to be appearing in Plaza Suite. You must have been approached by beauty brands before. I love your fragrances, I still wear some of your fragrances, but why ROC? I find this fascinating because it's not the first time you've been asked, I know.
Well, there was a lot about the conversation. First of all, I love the brand, so it wasn't as if I'd have to like summon some false narrative about it. And the more I learned about it, the more I loved it.
I remember when we met for the launch of one of your fragrances, I confided in you that I was going to have some corrective Botox, and you didn't scold me, but you said I didn't need Botox, and I find this fascinating. And
Sure you didn't.
I often refer to you genuinely as one of the truly age-positive celebrities that I've ever interviewed, and you've been very vocal about your process of aging and accepting the aging process. And
I don't know what else you're supposed to do.
talk more about it, because I find you very inspirational on this subject.
I don't think of myself as inspirational. I think of myself as lazy. I also just think of myself as I don't know what we're supposed to do, and I'm so confused as to why this is such an interesting conversation for so many people, because the alternative exists to take measures that make you feel better, and I'm all for it. I love the idea that people can do what they want to do that makes them feel better walking out the door. But I'm so confounded by the fact that really a majority of men my age are simply never asked this question. Like, I'm like, and we're still here, and it seems almost involuntary that people ask me about it. And I don't ponder it except when I'm asked about it. Like, you wake up and you've got a million things going on. And that's people with children, without children, people who are holding down 2 jobs or more, or people who are looking for opportunity, life, an education, friendship, whatever it is, you get on with your day. I don't understand the sort of emphasis placed on the ponderings of aging. Like, I don't know what to do. You can go to a dermatologist, you can have procedures, you can have injections, you can take all sorts of things, vitamins, etc. You can use skincare because it makes you feel better. But it's just, for me, it's like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do something radical that everyone's gonna be like, whoa, that's weird. She looks weird now. You know, like I just don't, and I'm an actor. So I'm meant to be emoting and sharing emotion and communicating emotion with my face, which I think has to move in order for me to communicate. For me, it has to move. It doesn't mean for somebody else it doesn't. Maybe they can communicate differently. But this is not a condemnation of anybody doing whatever they want. Wear what they want to wear, do what they want to do, speak, dance, sing, whatever. But for me, it's just not a focus of my life. Like
but I love
like
that.
the aging process. I'm like, it is what it
I've
is.
got some questions that are going to come in a little bit later on, but
Okay.
I know one of the questions is going to be, what are your steps before you leave the house and what are your steps before you go to bed?
Pretty simple. Morning,
Yeah.
night. You can mix them. Midday, and you know, an eye cream, a lip balm. Every now and then, if there's a serum someone tosses my way, I mix that in on the earlier part of it. I'm interested in. I like the idea. If someone says to me about a serum, a collagen-y serum-y that's light.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have a big fragrant smell to it, or is not meant to like bubble or something.
Yes.
I like that and I'll try it. But simplicity and efficacy for me is everything. If I don't have to spend a lot of time, when you're working on a set, you're in a lot of makeup, so that's already taking time, valuable time. But you know, I'll listen to a podcast, wash the face, you know.
Mhm.
But it's pretty basic. It really is.
Do you share skincare with your family?
Oh yeah. Oh, the
Does
girls are
Matthew
in and out.
sneak in and
Matthew doesn't use anything. It's unbelievable. He has he's
He has
inherited
great
some beautiful
skin.
skin. He really
That's a man
does.
that doesn't
His
go in
mother
the sun
had
very much
beautiful
though, right?
skin. He doesn't go in
Yeah.
the sun at all, and he's
It's
very
pretty
diligent
ageless,
about
right?
sunscreen.
Yeah.
He always has been.
Yeah.
And one of my daughters is very, very fair, and one is olive complexioned, and so they have different needs. One of them, you know, uses sunscreen the way I do, and the other one is, you know, 50, always, like, you know, the part is covered, the tips of her ears, and, you know. But yeah, my daughters are 14 now, so they're in and out of my bathroom, but I'm happy to share anything with them.
And I mentioned behind the scenes earlier on when we were chatting, hair up in a bun, because let's be honest here, and I need to give a huge shout out here to the unsung hero of many of your looks, and that is the incredible hairdresser Serge Lemon, who
Yes.
I have a huge crush
He's
on.
here.
I think he's
He's not
incredibly
here,
talented.
but
He's
he's
not
here.
here, he's at the hotel. When you're not with Serge, who creates your incredible hair looks, hair back in a ponytail, don't think about it.
Bun.
Yeah.
It's just a bun.
Yeah.
Every day. That's all I know how to do. I don't know how to blow my hair out.
Really?
I have no idea. I would only get so far, and no, I can't do it properly at all. And I don't need to. Like, if I'm not working, I don't do anything to my hair, because it's an opportunity for my hair to try to recover, you know,
Yeah,
from whatever it's been so good to like behaved. I feel like it's been tough, and I try to give it a break.
You have gorgeous hair, can I just say this? Okay, very quickly, you once, very many years ago, told me that the way you like to stay fit and healthy was to do ballet. Is it still the case?
No, I mean, I used to, but no, just walking around mostly, stairs.
Okay.
I live in a house with a lot of stairs. Walking around mostly, yeah.
But still attending the ballet, and by the way, looking amazing at the recent New York Ballet event. You really
Thank
did look
you.
incredible.
We had fun that night.
And finally, as a Rock Ambassador, are there any messages you'd like to share with us today?
I just feel like it was a wonderful confluence of conversations that brought me to Rock. I feel lucky that that it's something that is easy, and I'm enthusiastic genuinely to talk about. And I'm happy to know that this is not for the rarefied few. This is not skincare that is out of reach for most people, and that it's available in so many places. So you're not pining for something and having to save up in unreasonable ways for something that you're not even entirely sure is going to work, that you might toss or not use or try to find another use for it, but that I get to be part of something that I can easily share affection for publicly is really nice, and that I know I'm not alone.
Right, let's do some questions.
Sure.
Okay, what's the best piece of beauty advice you've ever been given? That's a good one.
I think from somebody finally saying you really do have to wear sunscreen. You really do.
Can I also just say, one of the other questions was, what's your biggest beauty regret? I think it's probably the same as mine.
Probably not wearing sunscreen.
Sunscreen when we were younger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think it's generational more so.
Yeah. It is generational. I am older than you, but we're a similar generation. And genuinely, our parents did not cover us in SPF when we were younger, and in the 80s and 90s.
SPF. I mean, what?
SPF was maybe a 2 oily,
Yeah.
or maybe
It was
in the
a
south of
2, 4,
France,
6, 8.
right? 2, 4,
Yes,
8 was like, are you sure?
Yeah, I won't get any sun if I put on an 8.
Yeah. So we've done your best beauty advice and your biggest beauty mistake. If you could, okay, this is probably a good one, but if you could only recommend one rock product, what would it have to be if you had to choose just one?
I'll just choose. Shoot. I guess. Oh. Gosh, I don't
make her
like this
choose.
question.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this probably, in a way, could be treated all day and night.
Yes.
Because of it has a little bit more versatile, like meaning it's not quite as heavy. So this would be the one, but I would like to not be put in that position.
Can I just say also, I have my 3 favorite products here. That vitamin C is definitely worth testing.
Yes, definitely.
It's a stabilized, non-reactive
Yes,
form.
and it doesn't. It's
And
not
it doesn't
painful.
sting the way you expect
Yes,
a vitamin
the
C
vitamin
to.
C stuff
Yeah.
can scare me, but this one
Yeah.
did not.
Exactly. I didn't know you have reactive skin. That's really interesting. That's something I have too, probably because we have so much sun damage from our youth.
Oh, probably. It
Never
never
put
occurred to
two
me.
and two
That's the
together
punishment.
before,
Shoot.
Anthony wants to ask you, how do you stay so optimistic? You do seem a very calm, collected, but quite sunny person.
I am of the opinion that to stay too long in the things that are upsetting hasn't been helpful for me. So, and I say this to my kids too, you should feel upset. If you're upset or you have an experience that was unpleasant, upsetting, disappointing, surprising, and you feel shattered in some way, feel it. But what are the ways in which you can resurface? Where do you find your resilience that you can really kind of gather yourself? Because I think it's like, especially for young people, real danger in sitting in the saddle of blue, And for me, I think I just that's not been helpful to stay too long in the place that's upsetting or frustrating, makes you angry, resentful, depressed. For me, I have to sort of, I don't think it's compartmentalizing so much as, okay, that happened, now what? What can I do to feel differently or carry on or put it away? Not to forget it, not to say it didn't happen or exist or make those feelings not be felt and seen and handled. I don't know.
Is that something that's come with age, or have you always been
I
a
think
sort
I
of
probably
wise soul in a
always,
young...
I think growing up, circumstance, you just kind of, I just always kind of moved on.
Mm-hmm.
That happened, that wasn't great, I didn't care for that, that hurt my feelings. Doesn't mean you can't have a moment of feeling it again, seeing it again, experiencing it again, but for me to stay there just hasn't been productive, and I don't like it. I'm afraid of that. It feels like a person could shut down, and maybe I've seen it hurt people and stop them from moving on.
I have to ask you a question because this seems like a logical conclusion of that. Is pro or against social media? Now, I follow you on Instagram. I think you're great on Instagram.
I'm
but
okay.
How do you?
I can be
feel
better.
like no, I feel like you're not.
I have conflicted relationship with it, but I'm
Exactly.
working on it. I want to be more present, to
A
be
love-hate
honest.
relationship with it.
It's not hate. I just think I'm not entirely sure how to use it. Actually, some things I think shouldn't be discussed on social media, and I think we don't give things time that deserve thought. And I'd like to talk about the things that I'm doing more, but I'm not accustomed to it, so I haven't really exploited it. I'm gonna try to be more present and share more of those things. I think there should still be kind of grace, you know, and some elegance around things, so it's a little hard to be less than that, you know? And it creates conversations sometimes that you didn't intend to create, and all of a sudden there's a little, or not a little, controversy, and it doesn't feel good to have just shared something that can then be wrong or right. And it's a little bit, there are like these landmines around it that feel sometimes scary to me.
It's interesting because of our generation growing up without social media. I feel the same way, and I think a lot of my generation feel the same way about tiptoeing through landmines on social media.
Yeah.
I can't believe anybody hasn't asked any fashion questions, so I'm going to come in with two, right?
Oh, okay.
For so many women of all generations, when I tell them I'm not going to interview you, they're just, you're their style icon. Who is your style icon?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so many people growing up, people whose names I don't know, you wouldn't know, meaning like I would just see
Street
them.
style.
Yeah.
New York street
I think
style.
my mom loved clothing. She always dressed so beautifully. She did a lot with very little. You know, she either made all of her own clothes or bought them at the church tag sale. And then, you know, images in the movies, but I didn't spend a lot of time going to the movies when I was really young. We didn't do that a lot. That was a big treat to go to the movies. And I think the 70s were very influential to me. But I think it's, you know, street and the past. There's so many people that I look at and think, you know, it's just very arresting to see them walk out their door, or images of them on the street. There's just so many, but it's, you know, walking down the street in London, you'll see people and you'll think, oh my God, oh, she's so smart. How did she think of that? Or what did she see that made her make that choice? I think public transportation is huge. Like, if you want to be inspired and really see things and see people being themselves, that's a great way of being inspired.
I have a question for you. You could keep me here all day, by the way, so just tell me when to shut up. How large is your closet?
It's not exceptional.
Is it not?
No.
I mean, you're a very
It's
private
people
person, so I can't imagine what your house is like, but I'm wondering, is it?
It's not very big. It's bigger than it used to be, just because we moved and there was more space. But I have a big archive that's not at my home, and that's really where everything is.
And is that left to your daughters? And
Yes,
can you
it's
adopt me?
undetermined. I mean, some of it, unfortunately, my daughter's feet are bigger than mine, which is
I would never fit
it's
into your
so
clothes
sad.
either.
But a lot of the archive is costumes and
Complete.
things I've worn for
Priceless. Yeah.
red carpet. Well,
Yes.
maybe to some others, like, But in my closet is like a lot of gray sweatshirts, which is what I wear every day usually. But I don't have, it's not, like, I've seen people's closets and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, insane, you know, crazy stacks of purses and lights and islands and, you know, lounge chairs and shoes and shoes and shoes. My closet is not like that, and the floors are plywood. There's no doors, it's just curtains. It's pretty not, it's probably be disappointing. I've had people come over, friends, and they've been like, well, my closet is bigger than hers. And it's better. And everything in it is better. I'm like, that's probably true.
You know who we have to blame for unrealistic closet expectations, don't you? Your good friend Andy, by the way.
Oh, his closet is much bigger than mine.
Yeah, and also all of the women he features, just that's where I get closet envy from, right?
Yeah. Andy's closet is amazing.
In case none of you know this, we're talking about Andy Cohen, who is the genius behind the Real Housewives franchises, that's the closet envy, right?
It's incredible.
Yeah. Jenna Lyons' closet.
Oh, I saw that. That's amazing. That's much bigger than mine.
Yeah.
Much bigger. And mine's very narrow. Mine's like a railroad apartment. Do you have those?
Yeah, no, I know exactly
it's
what
very,
you mean.
It's very
Yeah.
short railroad
Narrow,
flat.
short, yeah.
Yes.
But perfectly edited, I'd
It's
like to
fine,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then I need to ask you, because I believe you're wearing a pair today, when are we going to get your shoes?
We're working on that. We're working on
Is that
that.
as much as we can get?
Yes,
Okay.
for now. But you'll be the first to know. And I actually really mean that. I'll really tell you first.
I have got a new
Yes,
friend.
yes.
I think we have asked all the questions. Can I just say, ladies and gentlemen, she's amazing. Sarah
Oh,
Jessica
yeah.
Parker.